volatile times on a daily and on a weekly, slightly longer term time frames as well. But would you believe there is more here for a push higher, for a meaningful push higher in the weeks ahead?
Afternoon, Prashant. So as we are tracking global markets on the O'Neill methodology as well, the Australian market just witnessed a follow-through day. So I think we are basically into a rally attempt as far as the Indian markets are concerned. So it's a very tight trading zone that we are probably looking at, and still awaiting the follow-through day, which is basically a 1.5% move on the index, which is the Nifty with average volumes, with more than average volumes as well. So I think that FTD is probably missing, Prashant, at this point of time. And in our opinion, I think the volatility for the markets and the broader markets might continue.
Mayuresh, afternoon. Any thoughts on Syngene? Numbers look good. The stock has reacted positively. On the way forward, would you have a view?
Afternoon, Rima. I think two things happening. One, I think the multi-year agreement, almost the $500 million agreement that they did with Sotis, I think that is a step in the right direction that they've probably signed. The second element is that the second half will largely be also discounting remdesivir sales, because that is obviously a high base that the stock was working on in the past few quarters as well. In terms of their facilities, the Mangalore facility, the management believes, and I heard the con call as well, post these numbers, I think another 6 to 9 months in terms of regulatory approvals coming for that. And as far as the phase 3 expansion is concerned on the plant itself at Hyderabad, I think the kind of products that they're probably developing and the kind of scientists that they probably have, I think steps in the right direction. However, I think the consistency that one really needs in terms of numbers and delivery thereof, I think that is something which clearly gets missed. And then Syngene is probably known for that, not consistent in terms of numbers, because it all depends in terms of product approvals and the monetization thereof. So on the O'Neill methodology, again, I think the ratings, both the EPS and the RS, remain poor, and therefore I think we will adopt a wait and watch for Syngene at this point.
Do you foresee more weakness in stocks like an L&T Technology, KPIT, Tata Elxsi? All of them have corrected, despite the numbers looking fairly okay.
Absolutely. In fact, I think if you look at the guidance, Rima, and you track it very well as well, for KPIT in particular, the organic guidance about 23% and the overall constant currency guidance of 31-32, with upping of margin between 18.5% and 19%. And generally, I think the ER&D space has done exceptionally well, and the triggers obviously very well known in terms of EV spending, so on and so forth. But I think generally, I think what has happened in the market because of the higher multiples that they are still trading at, KPIT I think around 33, 34 odd times, LTTS around 29, 30 odd times. I think the valuations compared to the large caps still on a relative basis on the higher side. So as a space, my ER&D is expected to do very, very well. I think the concerns that are probably coming through as we speak to our European offices and the US offices as well, slowdown might actually hit or postpone the entire capex or curtail that to a large extent, which might delay a lot of these component manufacturers and ER&D players in the first half of the next calendar year. So I think even though the guidance is good, I think the headwinds is probably which is dragging these stocks down.
We'll leave it there, Mayuresh. Thank you very much, as always, for being here on the program. Thank you very much for your